When I first started, I started drinking. I found a friend's brother, older brother, that had beer, and so I drank that beer. I think I was like 13. Probably wasn't even drunk, but my brain, I thought I was. I'm like, this is so much fun. I can do this. I can be this person and not have to be whoever else I was that I hated, because I hated who I was. The more alcohol, the more drugs, like each thing was not filling the void in my heart. So I kept trying to fill it with more. My addiction brought me to the point of where I got really sick. Bacteria from using went to my heart, and I got what was called endocarditis. So it brought me to the hospital where I was gonna die. Actually, I was asking my sister what to pray for. Should I die? And she said, no, it's not up to you, it's up to God. I'm like, oh crap, I'm not going anywhere. I had to sign papers, like the doctor said I was gonna die, and everybody was crying, thinking that I'm gonna die. They're all coming in to say goodbye to me, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I knew God was not done with me. Probably that first Sunday that I was home from the hospital, I went to Elam. And that's where I hooked up with Anne-Marie and Bill, and she said, I have this family that want to help you with your recovery, and I think it would be good for you to live with them. I'm like, what? Live with another family? That was like crazy. But I said, okay. And while I was living with them, all I had to do was go to meetings and not get high. That's why I stayed clean, because that's all I had to do. I didn't have any other stress of trying to be somebody that lives in a normal world every day. The family that I was living with, they were moving, and so I wasn't going to be moving with them. So Jonathan and Alyssa had me come and live with them, and they trusted me. Like, do they know who I am? But they did. They saw what God was doing in me, and they trusted me to be part of their family. They really made me part of their family. Even now, I'm still part of their family.
Our pastor, Bill King, knew that we had an extra room, small and a young family, and he thought it might be a good fit. We've been welcoming people into our home for years, and the idea, is to welcome them into your family, which means your routines, your habits, your dining room table, those kinds of things. This is who we are, this is what we do. We'd love you to come and be a part of it if you're willing, and she certainly was willing.
I was really feeling like I was loved and I mattered and I had some, self-worth because of all of the time that I had just learning how to stay clean every day. I was able to get a job and keep that job and be good at being dependable at that job where I never was before. Things just kept coming together. When I got my own apartment, I was able to take care of myself. This is like the biggest part of the story, is that because of what God did with me 19 years ago, my daughter will not be sitting here having to talk about her struggle with addiction. That generational curse was broken and was stopped with me. When I watched Jonathan's message on what the mission for the Dayson's House was, setting generations free one day at a time, I watched it and thought, oh my gosh, that's me. That's exactly what they did with me. Getting 2 days clean away from drugs is impossible. Now I have 19 years of them.
So I think what we see in Corrie's life is that we see a person that was committed to change. But a person committed to change needs a people committed to change, because they can't do it alone. And so the Dayson's House seeks to be that people.
When people say that people can't change, it's not true. I am living proof that people can change.